Hey, what's up guys, 𝐻𝐢𝐤𝐞 here, and welcome to episode 34 of Scaling to Glory, where in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys some more FUT Champions highlights from the recent weekend league, and I'm also going to be showing you guys my kind of progress of how we were doing basically in Season 1 in terms of our objectives, because that's actually going to be ending very, very soon. And you can see that we still have a bunch of unfinished business basically. So yeah, I decided to do some of the squad battle stuff off screen and get those out of the way, just so that I wouldn't miss out on some of the points, basically on some of the XP. You can see that I still need to complete like week 4, week 5 gold, and even some of the objective players as well. So that is something I will most likely be doing on stream. Make sure to follow me on there as well, fb.gg/𝐋𝐢𝐤𝐞94. And also let me know in the comments down below which level you are currently. This was recorded on, I think, either Friday or on Saturday. So at the time I still had like a full week to basically complete those objectives. So I'm a little further ahead at the moment, but that is what I was basically at that time, level 22. So yeah, still a bunch of experience points I still need to catch up on, but that's something you hopefully will see in the upcoming episodes as well. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below which player you're thinking of actually going with. I think at the start of the season, I mentioned that I was probably going with Bernat because, yeah, there aren't really any good left backs apart from the rule breaker Camara. So, yeah, I think I mentioned that anyway in a couple of episodes ago. And yeah, I'm still not fully sure whether or not to go with him or maybe Sabitzer. Reason why I'm thinking of Sabitzer is because obviously there have been a lot of Leipzig promo players. We've got Klosterman. We've got, of course, Sabitzer himself as well. We've got Inform Upamecano, also Inform Konate. So, yeah, in terms of like players that might be usable as well, I think Sabitzer is definitely a good-looking one, even though he's kind of low on the defensive side. But I'm thinking of maybe going with him. Yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments down below which player you're going with anyway, and if you've already completed like all the objectives as well, and you're able to choose, let me know which player you've gone with basically. So yeah, moving on to our weekend league highlights. You can see that we are 3-1 down in this specific game. I had a lot of problems against Timo Werner, and yeah, it was a real shame that we started off losing our first game, because this was my session basically on Saturday, and it was literally my first game of the day as well. Now, usually I play a couple of like warm-up games before I go into FUT Champions, which I didn't do at the time, which wasn't really a smart move for myself, because yeah, I knew that I had to come up against a lot better players, because we obviously started off really well in our first session. We won 9 games, lost only 1. That means, of course, that the matchmaking is going to be a little bit tougher. And yeah, I noticed that immediately as well. Also, in our second game, we came up against a very similar looking side with also Mane, Timo Werner, and also, I think, Inform Hakim Ziyech. And yeah, this was also a very good opponent. I was just really unlucky at some stages where I tried to do also like some of the stuff which my opponent did, like run down the back line and then maybe cut it back. But yeah, unfortunately, was really unlucky in terms of like finishing our chances. But then in the 40th minute, though, we got a goal here with Memphis to sort of get us back into the game. But you can see right there, this was one of the things that I got really unlucky with. I'm really frustrated with as well with this weekend league. That was like through balls, especially through my defense, basically through my 2 center backs, Long and Denier. I just wasn't able to catch up with any of the players I came across, and Timo Werner, of course, being one of the paciest players in the game. Same goes for Mane. It was just really frustrating at times because yeah, I just felt that I just couldn't do a thing basically. But luckily enough, though, in the 80th minute, we got back into the game completely back at 3-3. So I thought, you know, maybe there's a chance for us to maybe win this game. But then, from kickoff, he went on a run there with Mane. Some great skills, completely did my defense, and he made it 4-3. And then in the 88th minute, again, some skills there with Semedo, where he then cuts it back to Mane. I tried to position Long there in front of Mane to maybe go for an auto block, but unfortunately, no luck there. So another loss, unfortunately. Then we go into the next game again against a really nice looking side. Some of the players I was pretty jealous of. In from Memphis, of course, which we already got to try out. But also road to the final, 𝐷 Promes and the rule breaker, Di Maria. Two players I'm looking forward to try out at some point. And we start this game off actually getting a penalty. I think Alejandro Gomez there, Papu Gomez got fouled. So we picked up a penalty. I think I mentioned as well a couple episodes that, I'm pretty bad at penalties, especially in situations where I must score. And that was one of those situations. And, we unfortunately missed that penalty. Then minutes later, we also gave away one where my opponent, luckily enough, also missed his penalty. So, I kind of made up for that penalty we missed with Memphis. Then my opponent gets himself a big chance there with his Memphis Depay. Misses a header there. And then minutes later, a very similar situation happened like in the previous game I showed to you guys. A through ball down my defense basically, where I couldn't catch up with 𝐷 Promes. And he made it 1-0. And then minutes later he makes it 2-0 as well, once again with the Dutchman. And then in the 38th minute, we got some skills going here with Gomez, where I tried to pass it back to Di Maria, but it got blocked by one of his players there. And that's how it really ended. I didn't really create much in the second half. The game overall was very similar, very even. But we still lost the game, which was really unfortunate. At the time, I was thinking to maybe change up something with the team, but then again, I thought like maybe I just need to play some more games. Because we got 3 losses in a row, meaning that the matchmaking would maybe go a little bit better. But then we came up against this team, a crazy team with Rashford, Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele as well. And my opponent started off getting a chance. And this is just a weird situation where, again, I blocked the ball. Of course, it was an AI block, but it went through long, which I couldn't understand. And then this happened as well, where his own player cleared the ball off the line. If Ben Yedder wasn't there, probably would have gone in. So, I was pretty happy. But again, I think in the previous episode, a very similar situation happened with Denier, where he basically had the ball in front of him and the ball just went through his leg, which is really frustrating. But anyway, from that counter though, we went on a run here with Memphis, some great skills and a very nice finish as well. So all in all, it turned out in our favor. And actually giving us the lead as well. So 1-0 it was. The 25th minute, we have the ball there with Gomez. We cross it to Dybala, I think it is, who on his weak foot there smashes it home and makes it 2-0. So a good start in this game. And 38th minute, we have the ball again there with Dybala. 1-2 there with Memphis Depay, who then shoots it on his stronger foot this time, making it 3-0. So all of a sudden in this game against this team as well, we're 3-0 up, which I had not expected at all. Then 50th minute in the second half, lovely rainbow flick there to a volley. Used it quite a bit in the previous episode as well. And in my eyes, it's one of the underrated skill moves this year. It seems that the rainbow flick especially is one of the skill moves that is really useful this year. Then in the second half as well, a little bit after we scored at 4-0, I tried to go for something fancy, but I probably just should have gone for the easy finish as he moved his goalkeeper. But then somewhere in the 60th minute, we went on a run here with Memphis, where I went with the ball roll sombrero to a sort of a knee touch. And then we sort of chipped it over the keeper. I think he got a touch on it as well. But a little bit of a lucky goal. But all of a sudden, we were 5-0 up. And then minutes later, my opponent eventually would get himself a goal as well with Marcus Rashford. A nice drag back and then a shot with his weaker foot to make it 5-1. And we would end up actually scoring one more goal, I think. We do get a chance here with Memphis Depay. Lovely reverse elastic where we get a little bit lucky as his defender did get a touch onto it, but we still managed to beat him, and we do make it 6-1 to basically put an end to this game. So we finally got another win after a tough kind of start on Saturday, and another hat-trick as well with Dybala. And you can see from the stats as well that they were pretty even. So all in all, the score didn't really reflect how the game went, but that's something that mostly happens in FUT Champs anyway. For me, it has happened a lot of times, and I assume that it has happened a lot of times for you guys as well. So in the next game, we started off really well again in the 16th minute. We made it 2-0 there with Memphis Depay. And then I think minutes later, we were very close actually, almost completing his hat-trick. But a good save there from his goalkeeper. And then a big chance here for my opponent as well, where he cuts it back with a nice back heel there with, I think, Valverde to 𝐶𝐗 Gnabry, where he does make it 2-1. And that's also how that game ended. Again, stats-wise, very, very similar. But luckily, we ended up winning that game once again, meaning we reached silver 3, I think, or silver 1 actually, putting us to 11 wins. So yeah, we were luckily enough once again on that winning streak. And in the next game, we start off really well again. Again, Memphis Depay only in the 6th minute there, giving us the early goal. Then a mistake on my side here, where I just should have passed it earlier with 𝐋𝐤𝐤, and he has the ball there with the road to the final. Diaby smashes it home and makes it 1-1. Then we got ourselves a chance here with Papu Gomez. Lovely bridge there, where I went for a weak foot shot. Probably should have gone for a shot there with a stronger foot. Then we got another chance here with Dybala, where it is the Argentinian who slots it home and makes it 2-1 in our favor. And then minutes later, it is again there Dybala with a nice little heel flick there, beating the defender. And then unfortunately, his goalkeeper got a good save onto it. I maybe should have taken more time, maybe done a ball roll or something to get past the incoming keeper. Because, yeah, on the counter here, you can see in the 30th minute, my opponent gets himself another goal. I think once again with the road to the final, Diaby, to make it 2-2. And then in the second half, he would end up making it 3-2 as well. An unbelievable goal. Just your typical kind of FIFA goal where you are unable to clear it out properly. You can see that I was a little bit unlucky as well in terms of the tackling. I'm pretty sure I blocked it off 2 times properly, but the ball just fell back to him like it always does, and then he chipped it really nicely there with Bellarabi to give him the lead in this game. Then from a free kick, which we just put over the bar, my opponent got himself a goal kick, and he tried to kind of play it out because we set a lot of pressure on him, but he actually made a mistake there where he passed it into the feet of Promes. We go for the 1-2 there, the double 1-2 there with Mahrez, where he then hit the post, but then from the rebound, it is the Algerian who puts us level again in this game, makes it 3-3. But then minutes later, it is him again on the counter, where he makes it 4-3 with Rashford, where I was pretty sure that I was in front of him there with my denier, but unfortunately he still managed to get himself the goal. Then from kickoff, I went on a run there with the directional nutmeg, beating a lot of his defenders, but unfortunately we weren't able to beat the keeper. And yeah, a good save there from him. 85th minute, another chance here with Gelson Martins, pass it off to Riyad Mahrez, but of course we hit one of his players. Yeah, it's just something that really frustrates me sometimes when you're like in front of goal basically, and you want to shoot on goal, you just tend to hit the defenders a lot, and that's just something I really kind of dislike this year, which also was a big thing last year actually. But yeah, we ended up losing that game, I think 5-3, and we move on into the next game, where we come up against once again an in-form Rashford, which I think we also faced in the game previously. This one though, starting off actually good for us anyway. Again, getting an early goal. Then my opponent got himself a big chance as well with Rashford. A good save. And then from the counter, I could have probably played it off to Di Maria, who made a good run, but we played it off to Memphis. Then we play it off to Ángel Di Maria, where we go for the rainbow flick once again. And then the first time volley. Really nice finish there into the far corner. And making good use of the rainbow flick skill. Definitely a skill move you guys should use often if you haven't already. Very good skill this year, like I said. So, yeah, from kickoff, basically, from my opponent's kickoff, we managed to intercept the ball immediately, where we pick it up here with Dybala. Good skill. Then he brought his goalkeeper out just in time. And then the header there from Memphis for an open net, where we hit the post. And the thing that I just couldn't understand was just that he missed for an open net. But it was quite funny as well to see the reaction of my opponent, as he was really surprised that, yeah, I missed that sitter. And then in the 33rd minute, he actually scored a really nice goal there with Rashford, where I actually didn't bring out my goalkeeper. It was something the game actually did manually. After that, I immediately turned on the kind of responsive thing where you guys could actually see which inputs I put when playing the game. But I found it, again, a little bit annoying to play with. But yeah, I was pretty sure I didn't press triangle to bring out my goalkeeper. So yeah, it was kind of weird to see yeah, my goalkeeper basically rushing out. But at this point, it was 3-1, and you can see that we made the 4-1 there with Dybala. Very nice little skill run there with the Argentinian. And then 52nd minute, a lovely run there with Memphis, where we beat his keeper. And then I tried to go for the rainbow flick to like the scorpion shot, to the fancy shot, but I completely failed it. And yeah, my opponent pressed start, which already was kind of a sign that he wanted to leave the game, as he was already like tackling me as well. Now we got another chance there with Dybala, where my opponent eventually cleared it off the line, kicked it out, and eventually left the game as well after we were 4-1 up in that game. So another win for us. And then we move on into the next game where we came up against a subscriber, which at the time I didn't know. It was an amazing team, by the way. Ronaldo, also Dybala, I think, in his team. Also Rashford, and also Michael Owen in his team. So a pretty strong team to play against. But we started things off really nicely here with Dybala. A quick 1-2 there with Di Maria. And we put ourselves into the lead. Then shortly after, some quick passing from my opponent where he cuts in with the ball roll nicely and then hits the post there. Very unlucky there for him. But that was like the only chance he had really in the first half. It was mainly us creating the chances, and you can see here in the 35th minute that we got another pretty big chance there with Di Maria. Cut in with the hocus pocus, go for the fake Rabona to the feint forward and turn, which was maybe a little bit predictable. But then from a corner, from a short corner, we went on a run there with Gomez, where unfortunately his goalkeeper saved. And yeah, you can see from the halftime stats that was mostly us with the chances. And in the second half, we would basically create more chances. Here, some stuff with Dybala. Here, kind of me showing off as well how OP that R1 dribbling can be at times. But yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to put enough power on that shot. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty nice goal. And then towards the end of the game, I've said this a lot of times. Whenever you don't finish your chances, you always end up conceding a goal. And that's what happened right there as well. Before the game basically ended, we conceded the 1-1. So pretty frustrating. So we had to go into extra time, where luckily enough, though, we end up making it 2-1 with Memphis there, giving us the lead once more in this game. But then in the 107th minute, a quick 1-2 there with one of the substitutes for my opponent, Sadio Mane, making it 2-2, making it all level. Literally his first chance as well in extra time. So I needed to be more efficient, needed to be more clinical. And I thought I was going to be efficient here with Promes. But you can see that he tracked me down really well there with Fred actually. And yeah, cast like a sort of an auto block where I wasn't able to score. And then in the 120th minute, he ends up making it 3-2. And I honestly couldn't believe it really. I was pretty frustrated as well that we ended up just giving away that game so weirdly, basically. I tried to go on a counter, but then I ended up actually getting countered myself, where again in the 120th minute my opponent ends up making it 4-2 with Heung-min Son. So we conceded 2 goals in the 120th minute. And yeah, it was just a really frustrating game, the way I ended up losing. Looking at the stats, he got himself back into the game as well, which was fair and square. But I think we ended up like being pretty unlucky with that game, which, you know, can happen. I've had games in weekend league which I won where the stats were in the favor of my opponent. So all in all, it was something you can always kind of run into. But I was pretty frustrated with that with that loss, which you can imagine as well. Then in the next game we started off getting the early goal once again, which we've had quite often in this run of the weekend league. But then we also conceded a pretty early goal. As well, so 1-1 it was. But then 17th minute, it is Papu Gomez there, gets himself, I think, his second goal actually, making it 2-1, giving us the lead again. And then is the other Argentinian making good use of the setup touch, actually making it 3-1. So some quick goals for us in the first half. Then into the second half we went, where it is actually Memphis Depay who puts himself on the score sheet. Some really nice skills. You can see moving his goalkeeper there, where we end up making it 4-1 actually in this game. And we do get another rage quit, meaning we're actually only 1 game away of reaching Gold 3. So I decided to show to you guys one more game where we come up against your classic Premier League team with Zaha on the left, I think Gareth Bale as well. And once again, also in this game, we start off really early in the 4th minute. It is Dybala there, puts himself on the score sheet, making it 1-0 there for us. Then in the 11th minute, it is again the Argentinian on the right-hand side, making good use there of the directional nutmeg, who then finds Memphis Depay, pass it off to him, and he slots it home to make it 2-0. Then my opponent has the ball there, crossed it in with Bale, and then I don't know how he managed to get it to, I think, Zaha. But yeah, I think it was like a touch from Denier where he was able to like get the ball back basically. And then eventually in the second half, he ended up making it 2-2 as well. So again, we gave away a 2-goal margin, which was pretty frustrating. So in the second half from a free kick, I decided to play it out a little bit nicely there. You can see that we actually managed to get ourselves a penalty. And you know my situation with penalties. I ended up missing this one as well. So again, a big opportunity for us to take the lead. But again, I just completely messed it up. We got ourselves another chance, I think, with Di Maria or Dybala, but the goalkeeper saved it. But then in the 69th minute, it is Di Maria there. Ball roll sombrero, shoots. And then from the rebound, it is Dybala there who finds the back of the net, makes it 3-2. A very lucky goal, I have to say. And then from a short corner, we have the ball here with Di Maria, where we do go for some skill moves. Ball roll to a shot there where the goalkeeper sort of got a save onto it. And then towards the end, he managed to clear it off the line. But you can see how many chances we needed in order to win this game. Luckily, we ended up winning it though, meaning we ended up this run with 14 wins, meaning we reached goal 3. And yeah, like I've said as well, I think in one of the previous episodes, my aim as well, anyway, for this weekend was to play all the games. So you will be seeing some more highlights of FUT Champs in the next episode, as well as some other stuff I think that we also do. I'm not fully sure. I think some packs. We opened some Team of the Week packs. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you of course did, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell as well for more videos. And check me out on Facebook, fb.gg/𝐋𝐢𝐤𝐞 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐜94. Anyway, that's the end. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.